Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're going to look at the review for round 2 of NRL Fantasy. So as you can see from along the top here, if I go back to round 2 I should say, not the best, 690, which was about 80,000 to the round, and from what was a promising start I've slid quite a way back to 27k. So if we just have a look through the side, so Harry Grant was the captain, and I think the reason why he's selected as captain is for that. 64 without the double, obviously, but in what was a pretty ordinary Storm performance. Um, as you can see, as a proud Dogs fan, I'm loving life at the moment. But aside from fantasy football and how that's going, so yeah, I think he's going to fairly well stay the captain for the time being. Just given some of the other issues around the squad. Isaiah Yo, 61, solid as ever. Glad to have him. But I guess as we'll address in a minute, there's a bit of an issue here with his selection in the team amongst others. Brandon Smith, unfortunately, injured again. It's not going well for him at the Roosters so far. So I think does this have the adjusted prices? No, that is the right price. All good. I could have probably kept it here actually. Just doesn't double Harry Grant's score. 45 for Cam Murray, so didn't play the full 80. No attacking stats there, so if that's bargain basement floor price score, should say that's okay. We can handle that. Jermaine Hopgood just continues to be a freak. 85 points. So what did he get round one? 160 cents. Was that 82? So if you're not on, who's the not even owned by half the field? That's unreal. Like he's already gone up a heap of cash. And yeah, definitely looks like a keeper. Matt Dury, solid without being spectacular, 32. Um, yeah, we'd like some faster cash gen, but take what we can get. So Nathan Cleary, 37. That's another, I guess, flatter performance. Well, actually, real flat when you consider he got 60 the week before, and actually won. So, um, yeah, don't know what to make of that exactly. But I guess he is a keeper, but having the bye this week means we've got to make a potentially difficult decision. Lachlan Ilias, so I guess maybe a bit of a trap. Uh, some people might say. I mean, I think they are playing against the Panthers, so you know, I'm so bad with the memory of what went on last weekend. Just all I remember is Bulldogs 26, Storm 12. Yes, I mean they played the Panthers, so that's always a tough one. Can be excused for having a slightly off one there. But yeah, and he'll bounce back. I know Souths have a tough run, but he seems to be more of a part of their game. So yeah, I'll keep him around, I think, for the time being. Val Holmes, 42, so pretty solid for a centre. I mean, it's getting involved enough and all that, obviously. So then I guess the other, not mistake, but I guess this one was a mistake. Brandon Smith's just unlucky, but Tommy Talau, just thinking he'd go well against the Knights, but obviously HIA'd out at the game, um, and the Tigers were pretty ordinary. So it's been unfortunate, especially when you can see on the bench there was a better option. Wishart 22, so again, the Storm, not much went right for them. I guess more self-inflicted. Um, so yeah, so I definitely anticipate that to be better going forward. Nickel Clock's had another HIA, so a couple of unlucky there, 3 injuries doesn't help the side. But yeah, as long as he's up for this week, he's not going anywhere. And even if he's not, I'm sure we can work something out. Will Warbrick, solid 30. Like he looks good when he runs the ball, but I guess the Storm weren't at their attacking best, and the Bulldogs' defense was actually quite good. Um, so he's just going to keep ticking over, making some cash, so that's fine. So then at the bench, Damien Cook, 57. That's why you pay the big bucks for him, is to bank that score. Sonny Luke, so again, I guess wasn't as good as he was in previous weeks. Um, but I guess, that's what you get with, such a young player. And Penrith, like I said, um, I think it's a combination of the Premiership hangover plus the World Cup hangover, shortened pre-seasons all round. Um, so they're just going to take a little time to vibe, but no need to panic on Sonny Luke just yet. Tanner Boyd, so a bit underwhelming again, 25. Bit of a concern. Obviously, Fafita is not on the same edge as him, so all of Fafita's line breaking and try scoring feats will not be attributed to Boyd getting the assist. Did make a couple of errors as well against the Dragons, so possibly I forgive, but we do need to make some moves to correct our position. Kepi obviously was on the buy as a bit of a loophole, although I don't know what I was thinking looping Braden Trindle. He was obviously going to get the job done. 54. As long as Hines is out of the team, he is in and making some good cash for us. Sean Bloor obviously missed with the injury. Hopefully back this week. Hopefully starting. Hopefully playing big minutes. Hopefully John Bateman doesn't chew into those. But there's lots of ifs on that attached to that. Katoa, 31, so he's just going to keep ticking over, make a bit of cash for us, so we'll take that. And Alamotti, 46, so he did look really good. I guess a lot of the Bulldogs did, to be fair. And yeah, I don't think I'll be making that mistake again anytime soon. So, yeah, so obviously, we've got a bit of an issue because we've got a few injuries, but also got 3 Panthers in the side. And I guess looking at this, I've just realised that um, difference between Supercoach and Fantasy is 4 players that you don't have to choose from. You've only got 21 in the squad instead of 25. So probably can't get away with carrying more than 2 players from a given team. And it is tricky when we've got Yo, Luke, and Cleary, which all have their benefits and positives to them being in the side. Um, and then obviously, we've got to account for the injuries. We've got to account for players like, Tanner Boyd. Would like to be able to get rid of him if I could. So let's have a bit of a quick play around and see what we can come up with. Guess, Supercoach has the trade boost as well, which is nice. But let's go Cleary out for Trindle. Kepi for Yo. Talau can swap with Alamotti. Katoa can swap with Luke. So that still leaves us 1, 2, 3 players short. That has not worked out well. I think early mail is CNK will be right. Brandon Smith is the question mark. Then maybe also Bloor and Talau, who knows what's going on with them. So, I mean, we'll guess, assuming they're playing, Talau won't replace CNK, he'd be the reserve. But we don't have another middle, do we? Well, so what I'm thinking is, I guess Isaiah Yeo even was always a bit of a luxury. So if we get rid of him, but then the player I'm thinking of bringing in for him is Jacob Preston. So it looks like the way the Bulldogs are shaping up is Preston's going to play big minutes on the edge. Fatala Mariners sort of helping out with that middle rotation playing lock to start the season, because obviously they're quite low on middle forwards at the moment. So, a bit of a cash grab, but also I think, he could easily take a spot on the team. So if we just do that trade first and we'll see how we sit. And so then Preston would obviously go in that spot, and Hopgood will get himself into the middle. So we've still got Smith. We like his dual position, and he'll obviously dip in cash, but you'd expect him to rise again once he gets familiar. And the Roosters sort of, maybe another team with that little World Cup hangover. A lot of the players were in the World Cup. So we might be able to hold. So then from there, I mean, with the amount of money we've got from trading out Yo, we can do what we want in a way. And thinking what I want, if we sort of order it by the average instead of by the position, is I'm thinking about Tohu Harris. I know I've just shuffled them around to get in the middle. Or I guess the other option, and let's go by position for the centres. There's Tabuai Fido, Hamaso, the Hammer, that's what I was trying to say. So I guess, like someone like Jack Bird would be nice. He's got that nice role, middle forward, as a, centre lock. And also the edge dual position would be nice. But I'm thinking the Hammer's a bit cheaper, so, make some money that way. And then we don't have to carry someone like Tommy Talau. So Hamaso, HAM, there we go. So, so the team would end up looking something like that. Obviously, the Hammer would swap. So maybe carrying a couple of stragglers on the bench this week with Qatar and Boyd, but that's sort of how fantasy works, is less players, so you've got to be a bit lucky, but also a bit smart with the way you do things, which clearly I have not been. I guess this is just my initial thought. So I guess sort of the plan going forward in terms of the channel is these videos on Monday just to review what went on and look at the team, how it went. And then probably Thursday afternoon before the first game, after obviously team lists have come out, a bit of late mail, all that good stuff, we can sit and confirm what we're actually going to do. So look out for that video. But we might wrap this one up there. So obviously if you've got different thoughts on how this should be approached, let me know in the comment section. If you're enjoying the NRL Fantasy content, give it a like. I know there's a lot of people that do prefer the Fantasy to Supercoach. It's definitely different, and I can see why people would like it. But I guess different strokes for different folks at the end of the day. But subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the content. And I think that's all the sort of obligatory stuff you've got to say. So other than that, Thanks very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.